Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equities Story. I'm with the Wolf, and this is just a general share advice and not personal advice. How you doing, Wolfie?
I'm very good, thank you very much. But you don't sound too fantastic with a little bit of cough. You're like the walking sick person, keeps getting some sort of diseases all the time.
Yeah, I know. That's what happens. You got lots of kids. They always bring everything home, so that's okay. I've got my my what do they call it? Sort of magic medicine I take.
Is it? Was it?
Yeah, I take this new thing called 98. I think Alive.
Oh, that sounds very.
I gave some to my wife, but it nearly killed her. She couldn't stand it. But it's like
natural. Is it like a natural extract, or is it like a chemical you got to take?
I think it's like natural tip tree oil.
Oh,
it's weird. It's weird stuff.
Well, look, you anyway. Your health, you put it down to your kids. I'm just putting it down to your age.
Right? Yeah, I know. It most probably is. All right, Wolf. Let's do this now. We might hear the hoovering.
We might. Although she's being very quiet. She did ask permission if she can hoover for 5 minutes.
All right. Bloody hell. This doesn't happen
in a studio?
Sky Business News or a proper studio.
I reckon it does. They just have to edit it out.
All right. And she was going to make you a nice. I heard her in French. What was she going to make for you?
Nice juice. Nice, fruit juice. Healthy fruit juice. So it's going to be good.
Okay, all right. So hopefully we won't hear the hoovering,
Natalie.
But if we do hear the hoovering, we know it, or noise, we know it's just a hoover.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's go through some stock, shall we?
RIC, Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
We got that target price 180, but it's on the way. It's got to actually, if it ends a week like this, you'd be buying this. I mean, great looking chart. So, ¿Qué pasó con what was about the announcement?
Look, I love the fact that obviously they're going quite well, but they've got another plan, 23 to 25 plan, and that's the years I'm talking about. So they're on target. Look at Dave. I mean, I like when a company comes up with a 2 or 3 year plan that they want to put into action. So for me, it gives you clarity. It gives you something to hold on to and say to yourself, if it reaches that, it's probably worth $2.
How much?
$2.
What?
We're talking 2 or 3 years, right? That's not. I know the market at the moment is going quite hot for it, so it's naturally going up on the back of the heat in that space.
No, listen, fantastic looking chart. You just gonna said in 2 or 3 years it could hit $2. Now, everybody's going to be selling that because that is not enough for Equity Story members. 10% in 3 years. They might shoot.
You got to understand that potentially it could go back to the $1.60, $1.50 over the next 6 months, right? When there's a little bit of hit comes out when the war stops, for example. So $2 is actually not a bad target to have.
Well, can we say 6 months? Not.
No, we're going to say 2 years because I'm happy with the slow grind and I'm happy with with having small targets, and if it reaches it and we go, let's go to 250 then from there.
But you say you're happy with like 10% in 3 years?
Well, no. What I'm saying, I'm happy with having a target somewhere down the road where I can go hit it. Whether it's 2 years, whether it's 6 months, let's see if we can get that target.
Anyway, listen, we are trending at the moment. I think we already hit 180. If you're in it, hold it. But if you've got that long-term approach, I still think you'd be looking at this.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, $2 is. It's still a nice little target to aspire to.
Okay. AGY. It's all clicking for them, isn't it? Nearer production and.
Look, you're seeing another little round of heat in that lithium space. I know there's a couple of articles I read last couple of days saying the battery market for the metals is now done. Right, so they reckon that's going to, in the next couple of years, it's going to ease off the nickels, lithiums, cobalts of the world prices in commodities. And look, I can understand why, because you really, when you think about it, you've got a number of mines coming online. AGY, CXO. There's just a plethora of lithium mines that are looking to probably come online in the next 2 years, right? So if all that sort of mines come come online, you'd see an influx of lithium, and possibly that's going to put pressure on lithium prices. So I can understand where they're coming from. So again, play it smartly, take your profits when you see them, and with the expectations that these things will come back, because they are way overpriced for me.
Western Australian, West Africa, Wolf, some good.
A bit different between Western Australian and West African.
I know that's what happens when you're taking too much medicine for your cold.
Exactly.
So WAF,
Yes.
WAF, West Africa.
Yes.
Good looking chart, Wolf. What are those drill results like?
Yeah, not bad. I mean, look at we know that the WAF is a good company anyway, right? It's probably one of the better gold players in West Africa, no doubts. A very nice big project. So the actual drilling is probably not going to do too much to the share price. I think it's more about the production and the gold price right now, because it's a producer. So it's really about hitting their targets and everything else.
And some pretty good hits, some pretty shallow, which
Yep.
you do find a lot of these gold resources in West Africa at very shallow depths, which is good.
Yeah, it's still it's still highly underexplored region.
Now you got all excited about STG until we saw the chart. We thought, oh my god. But
it's typical, isn't it, of this space?
But they are hitting some goals, Wolf.
They are. They've come up with an update today saying they think they grew about 30%, beat its own guidance. So all in all, they seem to be doing reasonably well. However, just like the Titanic, doesn't matter who you are, whether you're the captain of the ship or someone sleeping on the bottom of the ship, you're going down with it.
All right, Wolf. A few broker upgrades. So Elders, very, very nice. So I'll just read this to you so you can have a look. So Elders, target price $15.
Yep.
And UBS has taken its time to properly respond and update thoughts and projections. So they've taken it very seriously. The bottom line beat the broker's estimate by no less than 30%. So they're awfully happy with that, and they're awfully happy to upgrade their target price to $15. Now, it was actually $15 a few weeks ago, so it had that bit of a sell-off. You know what, Wolf? I chickened out of the hot stock. And the sad thing is I actually wrote this one up as my hot stock.
Right.
And I didn't no, I didn't, because they paid the dividend on Monday, and I wasn't too sure. It was ex-dividend, I think, on Friday. So I wasn't too sure how it was going to affect the share price. But a nibble, and we're trending this at the moment. So I'm not going to put it back on, but getting in around that 15.53 and targeting that $15, that's a decent 10% gain if it gets there.
I'll take it. In this market, I'll take it. And the thing is, you are buying a really, really good company right now that's flying, absolutely flying, and it's come back to the trend lines. You can't get a better opportunity to buy.
All right, so there's we are trending this, guys. If you're not in it, it's well worth having a look. And Goodman Group. So again, not the best of chart, but if you actually look at it on the monthly, a little bit of support and bounce off that monthly trend line actually quite nicely. So if you've got that long-term approach, Wolf, Morgan Stanley, their target price is $25.94, up near their highs.
Yep.
But really, even if you look at $23.90, you think there's a nice little move in here if you're patient.
Another 10% right there. Absolutely. And again, similar to Elders, different space, of course, but again, they're flying, upgrades galore. If you're looking for a good story, buying on a sell-off, there you go, at $20.
And actually, Wolf, that's a nice little 17%. That's a 17% move. If you bought it there at 20.44 and you got that 16, and you got that 23.90, that's 16.92%. Yeah,
no, very nice. I'll take it.
Yeah, it's not 10%.
Well, I know. I'm just being conservative. I mean, I'll take a 10%. I'd love a 17%, but I'll take a 10%.
Well, you'd love a 25%. Yeah.
Yes, but
Right.
this market is skittish, so I'll take a tenner.
So
Yes.
Yes, these guys had actually a really big target price, but there's a problem with this, and I think UBS rates Hum as a buy, and they've their merits of selling their Hum consumer finance business to Latitude Group.
Yeah.
So if that goes ahead, Wolf, I think that this stock could have a bit of a rally. Now, it might not go ahead. No, I don't know.
Look, it's extremely peculiar. It doesn't. You don't see this very often, where the actual management, most of the management, because there's actually opposition to this, most of the management are more than happy to offload this BNPL business that they're selling to Latitude. And in fact, they are so keen to sell it, they provided all the facts how bad it is, that it's loss making. I've never seen it before, that they are just going, please take it off our hands, Latitude, please. Because they feel that if it doesn't go through, it will collapse, because what they're talking about, see what happened to the other BNPL players. They lost a lot of value. And businesses the market doesn't take too kindly at the moment to businesses that are loss making. So there's desperation by them. I know there's one dissenting voice saying, it's underpriced. If I was that dude, I'd be going, please shut him up.
Yeah, no, the interesting thing is why Latitude would even be buying it.
Because the reason why is it gives them scale, right? Scale could possibly give them that extra bit of, I suppose, lower risk, and possibly give them opportunity to potentially grab a bigger market share and lower the costs, and potentially become profitable in their own right. So I can see the merits of thing, but I think, you know what, if I was Latitude, I'm thinking, if they're so desperate, maybe I should move my price down lower.
So Wolf, you'd want to see this obviously back above 84.
Yes.
You'd want to see the Latitude deal go through, and then you might then you might look at it.
Yep.
All right, but way too early yet. But certainly Goodman Group and Elders, we're trending both of those. They're interesting, good strong stories that look like with this little bounce that we seem to be having, they could recover quite nicely.
Yes.
Now, was there any other stock you wanted to talk about?
Yes, let's have a quick look at this SXG, right, and MEK, because we had a little look yesterday, and I know you said I'd rather have the SXG versus MEK, and since we spoke yesterday, went another 100%, and it's still going another 10% today. So my question to you now, if someone did get in yesterday at around that 39, because it was 39 when we were talking through it, right? So it was, it was just above that trend line. So what would you do now?
I'll definitely sell half, because there's so much risk with it.
Yeah, fair enough. So you doubled your money, you sell half. Yep. And where would you put your stop loss?
We'll go into that. Trend line, say 0.56 by the end of the week.
Okay. No, I like that. What about MEK? Can we have a look at that one? Because that one's still going.
They've done well, haven't they? Up nicely.
Yep.
So
if you're in this as a punt on rare earths, right? You know, whether it's fluff or not, doesn't matter, but they're coming out with some results that market seems to be liking. So where would you put your stop loss on this?
I think you go 0.058. We'll use that 60-minute.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, look, I just wanted to talk about those two because it's interesting how they're still going. And of course, Alkane 108.5. I still, think long term, what an opportunity. Now we've got a 5 million ounce deposit, gold deposit, which surely will be valuable to someone. If an Alkane can't develop it, because it must cost $2 or $3 billion to do it, they might have to get a partner. But I think Alkane is probably still one of the few picks that looks like a decent long-term punt. That's for me, Dave. I've expired. There's not much actually news this morning, which is nice. The only thing last thing I want to mention is the possibility. First of all, we had the European or German inflation numbers that was pretty horrendous, 7.9, I think, %. But word out of America saying that the inflation might peak much faster and quicker than people expected. So the markets could potentially have a bounce.
Let us hope so, Wolf.
Right.
You know, there's different views on that. That's the problem.
Well, everyone's got an opinion, but it's just you know we got to talk about all these opinions, right? So someone's saying that if the market's got it wrong and that there will be a quick peak, then you might see a fairly furious bounce.
But what we're seeing now, and Wolf, we did talk about Einstein's that the markets could bounce the next few weeks.
Yep.
And again, we picked it absolutely beautifully, and the markets have bounced, and they look good. But you know, is it a recovery? For me, it's still only a bounce, right?
I agree.
So just be wary. You know, trade carefully, and obviously look to take profits. On that note, thanks, Wolfie.
Thank you very much, guys.
And we got live tonight at 7 o'clock.
Please join us. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.